Okay, good morning guys. It's about 8:30 in the morning and I just thought I'd do, it's about 8:30 in the morning. I just thought I'd do a really quick video just because the assistant taita who's staying at my hostel just came to wake me up, and he really wants me to do a third ceremony, and I haven't really done a video following the second one, which I did not last night but the night before. Like, as you can see, I'm quite bruised and battered. Like, I've got a scratch on my nose, scratch on my hands, my legs are covered in bruises. Like, it was a really, really challenging ceremony the night before last. Extremely challenging, terrifying actually. I think after the second cup, after I went into my vision, I pretty much somehow ended up on the floor, screaming, foaming at the mouth, and just not being able to handle my shit. And I kind of came back into my body. I was lost in the vision for God knows how long, and I came back into my body with one of the girls, not like just one of the girls who's staying at the hostel, who was luckily quite experienced doing ayahuasca, just cradling my head in her hands, calling my name out, Sandal, Sandal. But I was terrified. I felt like I was about to be gang raped by demons. It was absolutely horrible. I started going into this vision. It was a lot of sacred geometry. I could see eyes, lots and lots of eyes, and different colours, like pastel colours, but colours that I hadn't really seen before, like browns and blues and turquoises. And there was like an owl type entity, a shamanic owl entity that was talking to me and asking me to surrender. I'd already purged, and when I purged into the forest, the plants were asking me to trust them. They were live, and they were saying, yes, give it back, whatever it is. Like, I was purging out this phlegm, this bile, after I'd purged the brew, and all that was coming out was this bile, and they were just like, yeah, get rid of it, you don't need it anymore, this no longer serves you, give it back to us, we will deal with it, you need to purify, you need to be clean. And the first vision that I saw, I'm sorry if this is a bit rushed, but I just want to get it out quickly before I do the third ceremony, was just patterns, very visual, lots of colours and geometry, and I became one with the forest. I took the brew into me, and I became a plant. I became a rainforest plant. And then I'm going to have to check my notes again later, just to make sure that I'm getting everything. But the third time, it was about surrendering and trusting the plant, trusting the Akasha, letting them in and show me what the medicine needs to show me. And I was literally, felt like I was swimming through the Akashic records. I was being shown everything that I am, everything that we are as humans, that we are all connected, we are all one, and needing to understand where the boundaries of my physical self, not just my physical self, but all the layers that make up myself, my, vessel, where that ends, and that everybody that I come into contact with, understanding where their vessel starts, the separation between that, and consenting to allow people to enter my field. It was a lot to do with rape and sexual violence. I don't know why. I don't think it was my own experience. I think it was just needing to feel physical safety in this environment that I was in, and understanding that as we move through the world, especially because I'm here on my own, travelling by myself as a female, not being able to speak the language, the idea of trust and consent and boundaries was coming up massively, and just the idea that we're always making contracts with everyone that we meet. So I make a contract with the hostel that I'm going to stay here for this number of days, and you know that I'm going to pay them. And you always, when you're making contracts with people in the world that we're in, we rely on the system, but actually what we need to be relying on is we need to be trusting the human behind the system. So not just trusting that, yeah, the hostel is going to honour its word because through the threat of violence, because I can take them to court if they don't or whatever, but just because they're human and I'm human, and we have to trust each other, otherwise what else do we have? And I was seeing all these shapes, and they were saying, do you understand? Do you understand the bigness of who you are? Do you understand that you're part of this cosmic web of contracts that you're always making with people? And this is it. Once you understand this, this is the key to everything. And every time I would try and grasp the idea, Hashaman would be like, yes, yes, you're getting it. And then I would just be like, nah, blah, 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 what the fuck? Oh my god. And I was purging this white foam, and it was just like, I felt like my vessel was being purified and prepared for this understanding, so that I could, and this image kept on coming to me in the sacred geometry, this word, truth. And I mean, you guys know that I'm a big fan of Mark Passio's work, and how he talks about how we need to stop making religion our truth, we need to start making truth our religion. And my mission was becoming very clear to me that I need to be a soldier of truth, and I need to be ready for it. But yeah, I was screaming, and people had to help me, and then afterwards I was covered in mud when I finally came to. I was on the ground, went to lay in one of the hammocks, and then after it was over I was talking to one of the assistant taitas, the one who works here at the hostel, about my experience. And then this other girl, this girl from Switzerland, whose English is quite good, and she was saying that she felt like, I mean, when I was, you know, screaming and stuff, everybody was just completely focused on me. They were not focused on their own trip and their own journey. And she said that she felt like whatever was happening with me was connected to my ancestors in India. She feels like one of my grandparents was maybe a shaman, or great-grandparents. So I'm going to have to ask my mum, because I think she did tell me that her paternal grandmother in Pakistan was some kind of like white witch or healer or something. Sorry, excuse me, I'm naked. So I'm going to have to ask her to tell me more about that, because maybe I was channeling the spirit of my great-grandmother who was trying to show me something. I don't know. I haven't made full sense of it yet. But one of the other guys came up to me afterwards, and he said, you know, he was trying to communicate with me, and said, I saw 4 hombres, 4 men around you when you were on the floor. Bad wizards, very, very bad wizards, demons. You have demons. And you need to go to the market, and you need to ask the grandmother for 7 plants sweet and 7 plants bitter, and wash your whole body with it. So I haven't done that yet, but it's quite worrying to think that I have demons. So Juan Carlos closed down my energy field last night with the this is another thing. When I was under the influence of when I was lost in the vision, I kept on hearing this voice, which I only remembered afterwards. I didn't remember at the time. I remembered it later. I remembered when I was seeing these entities in the sacred geometry. I could hear the rustling of the leaves and the harmonica that they play with, the tribal song, the Ayahuasca chant. But then I could also hear a man's voice saying, tranquila, 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 tranquila. And then I asked Juan Carlos about it yesterday when he was closing down my energy. I was just like, were you talking to me when I was on the floor? And he goes, yes. I was just like, we were saying tranquila, tranquila. He goes, yeah, you remember? And I was like, I remember the vision and the sound, you know, that word, but I didn't know it was you. I don't remember. And he goes, you were looking at me, but your eyes were rolling back in your head. It's just like, but yeah, like he wants me to do another ceremony today in the daytime, which might look different and maybe less scary, but I'm a little bit worried just because I didn't sleep very well last night. I was quite scared to go to sleep because when I got back from the ceremony yesterday in the morning, I tried to go to sleep and I would just keep on going back into the vision and then waking up with a jolt. So yeah, sleeping last night was difficult, and also twisted my ankle as well somehow. So I'm like hobbling everywhere, limping, and but I'm thinking maybe I should need to close off with a positive ceremony and get some like maybe positive experience, just so that I'm not so scared of ever doing this again. Okay, I better go because I think the others are going to be waiting for me soon. They will leave soon. But thanks very much for listening, guys, and yeah, I will update you after the third and final ceremony. Peace out.